loose play was very prominent. And then you have Philippe Berquazi, right, who's fly half. He's been added to the lineup, making his first ARC appearance. His World Cup experience will be huge today. With the addition of Berquazi, Juan Manuel Cat will be able to assume his role as an outside center position, and he's likely to create more scoring opportunities in the back line.
And we'll talk about Gamanara. I just love the way he wears his heart on his sleeve. As we see Brazil, the world-famous scrum at this point, going viral on video, but in the nightmares of a lot of opposing teams. We see Kleber Diaz coming off there, and they've been able to strangle some of these teams. Brazil is going to be interesting to watch today.
Yeah, arguably one of the top 10 scrums in the world. In their 15-10 defeat against Chile last week, they failed to really impress. But today, they will have to come in firing on all 12 cylinders. And I'm looking forward to seeing Jardel Federato at loosehead today. He played 80 minutes last week and added so much value in loose. And, of course, Josh Reeves will be a factor with his boot, his decision-making, and his running lines on attack. And then watch out for Lucas Trunquez. He's demonstrated his ability to stretch his legs against Chile. He'll need to continue to build upon that today, either setting up scores or scoring them himself.
He was exciting during that. And I'm looking forward to Kleber Diaz. We talked before. He just gets under the skin of a lot of opposing players. As we see the captains here, we go to the coin toss. Benego Gavinata.
Can we choose inside the warm-up? Yeah. You're going to delay it? Is that okay? Okay. No, they're going to delay the toss. They're going to make a decision after. We'll choose side. I'll tell you after the warm-up. Yeah. Okay. Before you guys come inside.
So Uruguay wins that coin toss, and they have chosen which side they want to run from. This is going to be an amazing matchup between these teams. Uruguay is going to want to build on the excitement they had last week, normally a forwards-oriented team, but really ran out wide. And Brazil is going to look to advance their game a little more, as they've had a phenomenal tournament so far. Not on the score sheets all the time, but showing the world what they got. Teams are coming out for the national anthems. We're going to take a little break and come back with first half action in just a moment.
Accidentado viene a ahí cerca de la ambulancia, que no le tape el pasaje.
Escucharemos las estrofas del himno nacional de Brasil. continuación entonamos todos juntos las estrofas del himno nacional de Uruguay.
Thank you. Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
A continuación, el señor Marcelo gerente de marketing de Anthems, conjuntamente con el doctor Juan Ferrari, presidente de la Unión de Rugby en Uruguay, hacen entrega del capitán de los Kickoff.
Take a look at Talal Chaudhry from Canada. They call him Mo. He is from Ontario. Referee Society with Gonzalo Ventoso and Marcelo Pieta assisting him today locally. The Canadian to take control of this match. This final game of the Americas Rugby Championship between Uruguay and Brazil. Referee just getting some final messages with his team. We look at the aerial shot of this great stadium, Estadio Charrúa, and we are ready to get this final match underway.
It's quite impressive. I'm very excited. You know I spoke a little bit about Brazil coming into this, but they have improved so much with each game, showing that they can turn on tenacious defense at key moments in the match. And Uruguay, on the other hand, I mean, with the addition of Arata last week against the U.S., it's really put some speed into their attack.
And Josh Reeves gets us underway. It's going to be Brazil in yellow, running left to right on your screen. And in the light powder blue is Uruguay, Los Teros. And Os Tupis underway here. And there's that man Arata. Served a couple of game suspension, but he was influential last week in keeping this team moving. Just outside the 22, Arata calling for a couple of forwards to get an early box kick up. And does so. The Houston Sabercat playing in Major League Rugby puts it up, and Reeves moves it across the field. And now a ball in hand is Brazil with Robert Tenorio. Tenorio gets it back in, and the ball winds up in the hands of Kleber Diaz. Talked about him before, 6'4", 245. Not shy with ball in hand, and Duque with his first touch. Duque gets it back to Reeves, and you'll see a lot of that left boot this evening as Reeves hoists one into the air. And Brazil wins that aerial battle right there, and the ball comes back out to Moises Duque. Moises Duque, brother of the scrum half, gets it up to Veterato. Veterato, all power, huge fella at 260 pounds. Gets it to back in. His front row partner takes it there. And on the run is this team, as it's Daniel Sansari chips one forward, and they get it back into their hands. And Tenorio tries to chip one forward. Look at this start from Brazil.
Well, standard start, obviously, with the kicking back and forth, but Brazil on fire. They're showing a little bit of depth, right? That little chip kick, little grubber. I mean, it didn't quite go that far, but still, they're just showing that diversity in their game. And big hits, taking really big hits.
If this is your first game of the ARC, Phaedra and I have talked about this as this tournament goes on. Brazil started with a killer scrum, and they're just adding those pieces as they go. And right there, just unafraid to push it out wide. Really good sign of intent from this team.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A great foundation, though, to start with that scrum, as you stated.
We're going to come back as Jan Rossetti, sometimes a skipper of this Brazilian team, but not today. Bergo is going to take that. He's back in, 5'9", 211. Smaller than most of their front rowers there in Brazil.
Yeah, well, you know what? Veterata makes up for it. That man's got so much venom in his eyes. He plays with such intensity. He just ran over someone earlier.
7 goals off. Blood sub, please.
We have an early blood sub for Brazil here. Just took a little shot there. And that was Luis Vieira, played in every game of this ARC. 6'5", 240 pounds, playing rugby in France these days.
In what other sport would you have a player have a bloody nose, just put a couple of cotton swabs up there and keep it moving? Nowhere else. Nowhere else.
Rossetti with his first shot of the day. Veterato gives him some instruction. Full numbers in the line out here from Brazil as Kleber Diaz gets it down to Reeves. Reeves to Tenorio. Tenorio hit hard by Herman Kessler. Danger turning this one over here, but a knock on by Uruguay, and we're going to see this Brazilian scrum. They sound pretty happy about that.
Yeah, they are, but you know, that was actually a turnover by Uruguay. Brazil's got to be in support. They've got to be latched on to that ball carrier so that as soon as that player goes to ground, they're right there over.
See Wilton Rapolo, 6 foot 275 on the tight head side for Veterato. We'll see these positional switches if there's any effect here.
Bind. Set.
Duque gets that ball in, but the scrum goes down.
Stalemate, my friends.
That's Uruguay is probably watched Chile deal with this scrum last week. Brazil did have the upper hand, but Chile had some strategies.
They at least on their put-ins they were able to retain ball. They just shot it to channel 1, and the 8 was right there to just pick it up and get it out.
Crouch.
Referee Chaudhry.
Bind. Stand.
He's going to bring this up, and he's going to certainly take his time to make sure he gets this right.
And you know these front rows, the first scrum of the match, it's all about jockeying for position and dominance. And, you know, Uruguay knows the reputation of this Brazilian scrum, so they won't have it.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Scrums together. We'll see if they can get this one sorted. Good hold there from Uruguay, but penalty against them. Doing everything they can to hold that down. You see Kleber Diaz excited.
Yeah, right. The right or tight head Brumbies just pushing in. The hips came out in the scrum, and that's what led to that penalty. That's the pressure that Brazilian scrum can put on a team to force them to force them into penalties. And right here in this area of the field, they've got the enormous foot of Josh Reeves, which they're going to right now for the penalty kick. But they have options. They could also re-scrum. You know, they're just so deadly.
They can do that and draw that yellow card. They can draw another number of penalties, but they're going to go for the points right here, going right to type. This is their bread and butter. Is draw a scrum penalty, put it to the boot with Reeves.
Brazil needs to ensure Reeves hit both of his feet.
Reeves playing with the Utah Warriors in Major League Rugby in the U.S. will return to that team after this game. The 28-year-old eyes it up. Should be a pretty straightforward shot for him. And he slots it. Been wondering if that left leg is ever going to get tired. He gets a lot of work in this 5 rounds.
He can use the right one too, so who knows? He may pull that out as an option for penalty kicks.
And 3-0 Brazil over Uruguay. 5 minutes into this Americas Rugby Championship match. And Berkesi playing with Dax in France. The 27-year-old preferred fly half, although Juan Manuel Cat, as you said, has done a great job so far.
Yeah, and I think Uruguay knows who's going to be their backup fly half for the World Cup, Manuel Cat.
Berkesi puts it straight up down the center. Well taken in by Brazil. Looked like the captain, Bergo, and Lucas Duque puts it to the boot, rides it down just outside the 22. On comes Gaston Mieres. Gaston Mieres finds some space. What a shifty runner, the Toronto Arrows player, but then offloads it to a man in a yellow jersey. Brazil takes it away. And it is big Luis Vieira.
Back up.
Brazil back with the ball after a good break by Mieres for Uruguay. And Reeves going to play the positional game. Puts that left boot down just outside the 22. And Nicolas Fritas moves across the field. The kick comes down from Uruguay. Reeves going to have another shot at it here.
Stop
Reeves, 6. Again, doesn't put this one into touch. We will see how this aerial battle winds up as Federico Favaro puts one long. Lucas Duque moves it over to Lucas Tronquez.
Keep moving. 6. Stop.
Tronquez doesn't find touch again, but a better attacking position from Uruguay this time. We'll see what they decide to do with this as the ball is up into Fritas' hands. They move it out wide here, and here is Villaseca. Villaseca gets inside the 22. Lots of action in this first 7 minutes. These teams stating their intention as Juan Pedro Rambis, the 275-pounder, works his way in there. Gets it out to the captain, Game Nada. Working hard on the floor to get that ball. Berkese goes out to Favaro. Favaro with a new haircut this week.
Yeah, he
knocks that one on, beat another Brazil scrum.
He just decided to take it all off. I guess he wanted to be a bit more aerodynamic, but geez, I mean, the guy is fast. He's such a finisher. Take another look here. Nice movement of the ball. Favaro just couldn't get it in his hand, but he is so effective both on the right and left wing. You know, and he has tremendous finishing ability, which is why they tried to get it into his hands. And you hear the referee warning Rambis to go straight.
Nice and slow,
skewed on that last scrum, which led to a penalty against Uruguay.
He's telling him, you're playing against Veterato, you're in trouble. Make the, you know, make the best of it
yeah.
here.
Find your
that
space.
fella's pretty good.
Yep,
and
not
Brazil,
bad.
We'll see how Uruguay does. They're going to probably try to draw a penalty here, an easier way to move downfield. Get the line out. You see Wilton Rabolo with a tight head there. Bergo, the captain, on the side. It goes down.
That's going down, guys.
The referee is going to bring it back up and re-scrum. Doesn't see any problems in that one. It's a little too much pressure from either side.
When I look at these scrums, I'm looking at Brazil, and I'm seeing just much more steadiness as they go down and engage. Uruguay, a little fidgety, and so it's no wonder that they got that last penalty. And I don't know. I'm predicting something similar after this scrum, to be honest.
Crouch. Fine. Set.
Lucas Duque talks to his team. Stable ball there. And they are going to play this one out. Arruda has it at his feet, and Duque puts it out to an oncoming runner. They're just going to set the exit strategy here to Reeves' left boot. Give up possession. Favaro going to go quick, however, gets the ball out to Gaston Mieres. Ball goes into the Montevideo night sky. Taken by Reeves. Penalty for crossing there against Brazil. The Uruguay penalty here just inside.
Got a little extracurricular going on already. They're just hugging.
Yeah.
That's Reeves.
Crossing on number 4, gold.
It was Paganini.
4 gold, crossing in the way of the receiver.
In the way of Reeves, so nobody can go for that ball.
And they're going to go for a penalty, too. Take another look here. Reeves with the catch.
Yeah, I saw Paganini there.
Paganini, yeah, obstructing a bit. And as we know, Uruguay has the ability to actually make these kicks from the halfway point. So really dangerous. I mean, equal threats on both sides of the line with Reeves and.
Berkese has scored 270 points over the years for this Uruguay team. Looking to add to that right now with 3. We're certainly happy to have him back for this final game. He'll be a key component of them going towards the World Cup.
Yeah, both teams though in this match need to stay disciplined with the ability to kick penalty kicks from halfway. It's a dangerous thing.
Berkese lines it up. He's got the distance, Assistant referees are happy with that one. It is all tied up 3-3, the 11.5-minute mark. And exciting stuff so far.
Yeah, very exciting. I mean, deadlocked. And I know Gary Gold for the U.S. is sitting back with his team at home, hoping for a Brazil victory today, keep the U.S. in second place, and keep Uruguay in third. So it's we'll see.
Reeves. Restart up into the air. Try to run onto, and it's taken well by a couple of the Uruguayan forwards. They set up the wall there for Santiago Arata, the 22-year-old. He puts up a box kick. And that one is going to go into touch. He was outside of the 22, so we're going to go all the way back for a Brazilian lineout here. A little mistake from Arata.
Yeah, that's certainly something he isn't happy about. I know he just wanted that ball to touch down just in the field of play.
He's certainly a feisty player.
Fast and feisty.
Getting his 33rd cap here is Jan Rossetti from the Cuba Club, 25-year-old. 2 tries for Brazil over the years, over his 34 caps. Jump there by Uruguay, but the ball's going to bobble at the top for Duque to get onto. Reeves is going to move it into the midfield. The other Duque gets it, but they've gotten loose on the outside there with Masadi. Masadi, the Italian player, moves it on to Sansari. Sansari, the fullback, has it right at the 5-meter line. Nearly a little crossing there from Cleaver Diaz, but referee says it's okay. Lucas Duque looking for a runner. He finds Veterato. Veterato would like nothing more than to put that one in the try zone. Not to be, however. A little bit messy here as they get the ball to Andre Arruda. Strong runner in his own right. A little pop up there to the number 7 and captain Arthur Bergo. Bergo at the line. Where are they going to go? They go up to Vieira. Vieira stopped up in front of the post, and they are going across there to Tronquez. Tronquez fakes outside and keeps going. Duque goes across the line. Lucas Duque, the 34-year-old from the Sao Jose club, puts in the first try of the match.
And that's just outstanding continuity and play by Brazil. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. They kept the ball. They moved it. I thought there was a high tackle, actually, on one of their players. And then, look at that. Just great presentation, fastball, and Duque just makes his way in for the try. That's what you got to do. You've got to keep that Uruguayan defense on their heels in order to be successful today. And Brazil making a really strong case of it right away.
Tronquez is getting some attention there as Reeves sets up the ball. But great start here from Brazil. I would say Uruguay is a little surprised at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Uruguay came out of the gates last week on fire against the U.S. And you know, they're not quite playing with that spark that they played with last week. So Brazil, they are, you know, and you've got to really, what we've seen in this tournament is that those teams that come out really fast and furious typically are the teams that end up on top at the end.
And, you know, I'll talk about it after this kick, but I really like the strategy of the Brazilian team there. We'll take a look at Reeves as he's getting ready to try to extend the lead here. Reeves off the left boot. Knocks it off the post, and it's going to remain 8-3. But Brazil, you know, Uruguay, we've seen them inside the 22, just pick and go and pick and go and pick and go. They can do it for 20, 30 phases. So they can defend it for 20, 30 phases. Brazil had the wherewithal right there to say, let's not take him up front. Couple little passes out, boom. He's in the try zone with Duque. Great strategy.
And I guarantee you that Uruguay wasn't expecting that. You know, how unpredictable can you be? I think that will be a key selling point in this match as to who will win it.
And Lucas Tronquez, I'm sure he's going to want to stay in the game. The referee says, let's play. Well, he's getting attended to. Referee Chaudhry asks Uruguay to get us underway, and Berkesi pushes it down into the hands of a waiting forward. Well taken there by Arruda, the Destero player, in his 16th ARC game. They fire it back to Reeves, who's going to keep playing that territory game. They want to keep it down there as long as they can. Gaston Mieres gets it to Fritas, who launches one. Reeves comes onto it, well taken just inside his half. And Freitas won't release him or roll away, and Brazil is going to have another penalty here.
And that's just right in front of the referee. I mean, those are the mistakes you don't want to make again. We know the power of Reeves, his boot. We know the power of this scrum. He's not going to opt for a penalty kick, but he's going to certainly boot this ball deep into the Uruguayan territory, and it's going to just put more pressure on their defense.
Reeves always calm here. Great kick from him, and it will be a lineup for Brazil just about 15 meters out. They can also put together a pretty good maul, this team. We'll see what they decide to do here.
Yeah, that, you know, multiple threats. It was they started in this tournament with 2 threats, and now they developed into sort of a multiple threat squad.
Rossetti. Waiting to get the call right. Volume goes up here as they go to tail the line out. Happy with that. Trying to put together a maul there. Got to get it going. Have the formation. Ball's in the back there towards Rossetti. Vieta gets it back to him. Rossetti. What will they do? Can they get this moving? Referee has not stopped them yet. They are breaking off just a bit to the side here, and Rossetti eventually brought to the ground. They're inside 5 meters here. Can they put another one in? Certainly interesting moments early in this America's Rugby Championship matchup.
Move away, move away.
Players not rolling away.
Just keep your foot there.
One of the big fellows powers off of the back there. Go back the other way. Not making much ground, as I said, against this Uruguayan team. They play this a lot. They can defend this a lot. Not sure if they'll find their way across the whitewash with this. Trying to slide back inside there as another Brazilian forward. They are just trying to use that size to power their way towards the line. And there's Veterato. Veterato is going to be able to recycle that ball. Where are they going to go? They're just going back and forth and back and forth.
No.
Just a little room outside of there. We'll see what they decide to do. They have to create a seam somewhere. As Rebolo again tries to make his way towards the line. And now they go to Reeves. Reeves wraps it around. They go the long one. There is room for Tenorio. But it closed with a little bit of an errant pass there, and it goes in a touch. But another great attacking series there from Ostupis.
Yeah, great attack, and then again, a little bit of a conversation and unnecessary.
Yeah. Kleber Diaz is going to go to the bin for that, I would think. Sanguinetti had to come into that too, but we'll see what happens here.
There's no place for that kind of behavior in this game.
Yeah, this is just unnecessary.
We spoke about respect, right?
Yeah, I hear the referee talking about, we've spoken about respect, and that's what it's all about. Yeah. Respect the players. There's no need for
Now we'll see where that started, because it seemed like a frustrated Uruguayan player had the first shove. Kleber Diaz pushing some to the ground, very stupid. A lot of things in there. Yeah, retaliation's not justified. But we'll see where this all came down from.
Get the water on, guys. Water on.
Referee is going to take the 20-minute water break here, I believe, and possibly have a look at this.
Can we just quickly have a look at that, please?
You hear there, Mo Chaudhry, Talal Chaudhry.
Stand by. What I've seen is number 6 goal coming in and pushing. Yeah. So
that's the retaliation for Diaz.
Diaz. I
Okay, so
think Uruguay may have carried the ball back?
And then soon confirm with Pesce. You okay with that? Okay.
And that's my guess, because it was out of the frame, so I didn't see.
Pesce.
He said he's probably just going to penalize.
Number 6 gold coming in with a push. I haven't seen any striking from anyone. Can you confirm?
Unless there was something earlier here.
You see,
we'll find out.
Brazil does all that good work, right? Yep. And you knew they were trying to bait Uruguay into a penalty.
So,
and then get the ball out. Unfortunately, stepped out of bounds, but that was good work, and that kind of behavior to me just defeats it.
Kleber Diaz to Silva, you know, we talked about him at the beginning of the game, getting under opponent's skin, but he let them get under his skin right there. So we'll see how this turns out. We're waiting for the TMO.
Can you also just check the pass back here, please?
See Veterato telling Diaz to calm down. That's an interesting one.
Yes, it is.
See, this is the first person they were kind of going after here.
Yeah, and then
And
he
I don't
pushed.
know. Yeah. And I'm not sure what Juan Manuel Cat could have done there. We didn't see anything in frame. I don't think
Yeah.
we're going to get that shot. So I think it's going to be a penalty against Kleber Diaz just for being stupid.
Maybe a little jawboning, but I mean, you're going to get that talk.
Yeah.
You talk, trash talking happens.
Juan Manuel Cat did have a big gaggle of Brazilians chasing after him
I
right
know,
there.
right? It's like, what is going on? Is
I'm
this
getting
a
outta
classic
here.
bullying scene? Looks like it.
I think all the time about this, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe the TMO has found something. You know, the Duque brothers took some sort of offense to Juan Manuel
Perfect. Yeah.
Cat
So I
there.
have number 6. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Let's see
do
what
it.
he does here. Yeah, he came in there and just,
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything really in that, but offended the sensibility of the Duque brothers.
Yeah. Well, this is just going to
Arthur,
push,
6 goals,
potentially
please.
push Brazil out of
6 goal, please.
really
Okay,
good
so-
territory.
The ball's in touch. He's going after players that don't have the ball. I need him to focus on the game, and that's it. It's going to be penalty against, back 10. Okay, thank you.
He got lucky there because he could have
Penalty
got
against
carded.
them.
Yeah, he could have got carded. Diaz da Silva
You need to make
apologizes.
sure you control your players. I will deal with it, okay?
But let's think about this, right?
Right over here.
It could have been a line out, just where
6
the player
goals.
went out of bounds. However, now it's turned into
We're
a
gonna come back
penalty,
here,
Push it
guys.
a
downfield.
kick, yeah, and
Which way?
it's
Over here.
really not a smart decision.
22. Thank you. Guys, back 10. It's over here. Back 10, please. Thank you.
Charter
6
ready to get
goals.
underway again. We're just under the 20-minute mark of this America's Rugby Championship final match. Brazil leading at the moment against a very game Uruguay side who has the penalty. Moves it downfield well.
Yep, you're good right here.
Little
I
GPS
can't, sorry.
pop out for Veterata.
Yeah,
We want to know how many meters that man's running today. So get that pack back in.
I wouldn't mind knowing that, actually. He covers a lot of meters for a big fella. Gaminara gets the ball out of the back of the Uruguayan line out there and has to come in and clean that one up. As the ball gets put up to Rhombus. Rhombus rumbles at 275 pounds. Gets
Away!
to the
Leave him!
line there of this Brazilian team. Berkese finds Villaseca.
Stay back here.
Taken to the ground by his shoelaces. Tip pass does not go to hand there, and Rhombus goes down to clean that up. Uruguay penalized there after that messy pass. They're playing it on the ground.
Yeah,
Luck
that's-
for Brazil.
That's just a great poach. A mishandle, Rhombus goes to ground, and there were 2 Brazilian players right there over the ball to turn it over.
Kleber Diaz will be breathing a big sigh of relief that his little error there didn't cost his team
Yeah, you're
more.
good there, yeah. Cheers.
Reeves looking for the best angle. Reeves, a journeyman, played a bit around the world, played a bit in Ireland, born in New Zealand, playing for the Utah Warriors, played the Yacarai Club in Brazil. Certainly made his way around the earth with
I
this
can hear you
game.
now, but it's very
They
Let's
got
take a look
good-
at Rhombus.
He got good
blue.
purchase
One blue.
for that
Step off.
for that penalty. I mean, that was a great kick.
3. Take a step off the line, please. Take it off. Stop. Good.
Brazil with this one, talking to Rhombus as the referee. Chaudhry wants him to move back. Veterato at the front, looking like he wants it, but they go try to go to the tail, but Uruguay is able to take that away. And Herman Kessler, the Los Cuervos player and
Just
hooker
wait.
for this national
Inside,
team,
inside.
takes
You're
that ball to the
inside.
ground. And Arata finds Gaminara. Gaminara, as we said, 5'7", plays like he's 6'10".
Yeah.
He's a short flanker. He
Just
is a
take a step back,
powerful,
6.
passionate man.
Quite the servant leader.
And
Stop,
Berkese
7, stop. 5. Okay.
does a good job with that ball. Chanquez moves it to Sanssouci. They're moving it across the field to Tenorio. Tenorio
Away, blue!
eventually gets taken to the ground, does the left winger. Reeves has to go in and clean up, so most of their backs are in there. Bolo gets it. They put some balls up there for Vieira. Vieira How far can he get? He breaks through a tackle. Vieira's across the 22. He's got Tronquez with him, but he doesn't go. And he is down in front of the try line. There was an open lane for Tronquez, but they have an advantage here. They may get at least 3 points, but they want more than that, I am sure. Duque's already scored 1. He's got the ball in his hands right there. They're going to go wide with it. They have a free play. Knocked down and back there with a knock-on. And they have the penalty. They've gone quick. Is he going to allow that? He gives the try, and Daniel Sansari takes that moment of opportunity and extends the Brazil lead.
But that was Vieira all the way. I mean, he had a great dummy. He ran, stepped through a tackle, and he dummied like he had double digits on his back. Set that try up. That all started with him, and just great heads-up play by Sansari to take the quick tap and put it down.
And we'll take a look at it here. We're just going to see the penalty, and Sansari takes it quickly there. Daniel Sansari, his brother not playing today from the Sao Jose club. The 27-year-old scores his 6th try in ARC action over the years.
And that's the area where your coaches always tell you, you always have to be turned on when the penalty is assessed against you. You've got to stay open and awake. And you see Uruguay with their backs turned, just walking to the try line to defend it.
And with that kick, it's 15-3 Brazil. I do not think a lot of people would predicted the score at 23 minutes, Phaedra Knight.
All I know is that Gary Gold is sitting at home.
The U.S. team is going to be on the edge of their seat at the moment.
Yeah.
And Brazil, not afraid of the upset, but it looks like Vieira there, after all that great work, has possibly done a hamstring or a knee.
Yeah, that's
sad
unfortunate.
to see.
Really unfortunate.
It's his hamstring he's holding on to there.
Just wait. He's
after that great run. He did if they showed that wider one. He had Tronquez earlier. Could have probably put him away for an earlier try.
Yeah,
but took the ball himself.
Yeah,
thought the space was closed down to him. Referee Chaudhry has
Can you guys send the guy
time
on,
off.
Sub on? Is the sub on?
Waiting for the substitute here. We'll see who they bring in.
On? Guys, I need substitution on, please, if he's going to come on.
Just awaiting substitution for Vieira.
Thank you.
And it's going to be Alexandra Alves of the Des Tado Club to get his 2nd ARC cap.
Ready.
And we are underway, 15-3 Brazil.
Have you noticed on all of these kickoffs, players are offsides, but
you've come in, not
none
a
of the
realistic
referees are
position to catch
catching
the ball.
Yeah, they don't seem to see it. That's another block there from Brazil.
2, not in a realistic position.
No mistake on a kickoff or a kick from Brazil. And Gaminata is going to call for the points and just try to close down that lead a little bit. Intelligent move there by the captain.
Yeah, smart decision. Berkese has the foot, has the range, has the accuracy. This is probably a really easy kick for him. Take another look here. You see just player in front. Yeah, number 2, Rossetti, just stepping in front. And they just got to be disciplined. And if you got a player going up in the air, you need to stay behind him. Let him catch the ball. And then you know you can come forward.
Better Casey to take this kick. Lines it up. Put his team a little closer. Los Tados.
Actually, I'm on you. Let me know what you have.
Probably telling each other they need to pick things up going forward here. And Berkese certainly has the distance there. He certainly has the accuracy there. And it is 15-6. Os Tupes are leading Los Tados here in Montevideo. A surprise home crowd wants their team to come back. 25 minutes gone.
I have a feeling this game may come down to kicks, actually, John. And you've got 2 exceptional kickers on each team.
That's right, but that's not on me, right?
I said it earlier.
That's on you guys. If he's going to take a player out that's going to try to
be
realistically catch the ball,
when they're deep in their own territory, because that's the threat that's posed against them in this Uruguayan squad. They can kick.
Reeves puts one sort of down the center of the field there. Uruguay goes up for it.
Back up. Wait.
Villaseca took that one the inside center. Pot of forwards with a good pressure from the Brazilian defense there.
Back!
Rata
Right in.
finds Berkese, puts it back in the 22, so they can't go directly out with that. Or it comes all the way back. A favorable bounce there as Alves, the replacement for Vieira, takes that one. Now Duque finds Kleber Diaz. Kleber Diaz gets in between a couple players, but can't break that line. The ball goes to the captain, Bergo. Bergo nearly breaks as he gets across the 50-meter. Brazil putting together the phases here. This time, Reeves is going to launch one. Competition in the air for the ball. Comes down to Uruguay. Favaro has it. Referee says play. He's got a number of players on top of him. Tenorio could have been a little high there, but not called by the ref. And Gaminada gets it as an offsides advantage for Uruguay. Rhombus steps inside one, offloads. We're going to come back for that offsides penalty.
And again, discipline. The discipline in Brazil has got to get better. I guarantee you.
Offside.
I'm guessing, yep, they're going to go for a penalty kick. They're going to continue to do this, put the pressure on Brazil until they even the score.
Yeah, they do what you got to do to get those points back there.
Number 9 on the
another
kill the ball, right? Penalty.
Let's listen to Chaudhry talking about it.
I can't have you kill the ball. Yes. If you want to compete for it, you can compete for it. But you can't dive on it. I heard you on the. Thank you.
Yeah. Gotta love
Gaminada pleading his innocence.
Yeah. He's very charming. He puts his hand up on the referee's shoulder.
Good referee management there.
Yeah, that looks like a little bit of a high tackle.
Yeah,
on the shoulder, a little seatbelt tackle there.
But they got a better angle with the offsides penalty that they got, and Berkese to put them within a converted try here. If he hits this, it'll be a 6-point lead. He's been good so far.
What do you have on the clock? Do you have any time on the clock? No more time on the clock?
Berkese. See what he's got with that one. That one's no good, and it remains 15-6. And it is halftime here at the Americas Rugby Championship, where Brazil leads Uruguay.
You said no time on the clock? Just hold it, guys. Hold it, guys.
We're looking at the clock here. There seems to be a little miscue.
He's having some confusion here.
Seems like the fastest half ever, Phaedra.
I know. I mean, I know it's been pretty exciting, and time flies when you're having fun, but geez.
Some of those front rowers like, yes, I'm off.
You know, Gaminada's like, let's go!
Ready?
As the referee's going to get the clock going here.
We're going to keep playing, guys. There's time on the clock, sorry.
There's more time to go.
There's a lot of time on the clock.
I think we've got 10.
I missed you there.
Yeah.
We should have about 10 minutes to go.
I've got 10 left. I think so. That's
time was flying in my head right there.
You're missing something.
Yeah. Sevens is in Vancouver this weekend.
Yeah. I need some time.
And Reeves is going to put a long one down. He plays this territory game so well.
Play!
Berkese can't quite handle it, but regathers. It's a great high ball up for his team to chase onto. Reeves takes it no problem. Moves it on there to the wily try scorer, Solseri. Lucas Duque.
Inside.
Back to his brother, Moises Duque. And he puts his right boot to it. Gets it out just about midfield for Favaro. Favaro kept it in.
That's quite cheeky.
Yeah, good work there.
That's a bit of a high tackle.
Hauled down by the head there.
On the neck.
I mean, that's the second time, you know, and they got away with it the first time, Brazil, but they've got to be aware of this lack of discipline, these high tackles.
Better go to captain.
Yeah, looks like Uruguay may have gone over to try to handle things.
No, but tackle me, he has to release the ball, right?
Let it happen in play.
Villaseca, playing with the Austin Elite in Major League Rugby in the U.S., pushes this one downfield. And it will be a line out just about 5 meters out for Uruguay. This will be their chance to really cut down on this lead. As you look at Bergo
4
here.
minutes left.
Yeah, just high tackle. And if you know you've got your arm on someone's head, bring it down. There may be an adjustment. The referee may change his mind, but you don't even give yourself a chance when you're doing that.
Ball goes up to the tail of the line out there. Ignacio Doty. Haven't seen too much of him in open play today. Gets it, the ball's to the back here. They've got a good maul moving forward. Referee spotting some Brazilian players trying to take this down. An advantage here for Uruguay. They have another penalty at least, and they come around the side. They're across the line, and it looks like a try awarded. Yes, the hand is up, and Uruguay has scored a 5-pointer there. We'll see who comes up. It looks like Herman Kessler, the hooker, scores a try. 15-11, bring it down to a 4-point game.
And that was just a clinical build of a maul off of a tremendous line-out throw. Brazil just doesn't have the structure. You can see they're struggling, they're high, and Uruguay doing a great job of finding where the space is, where the weakness is in that defensive maul, and Kessler just puts it down.
And you said it before, Phaedra, just silly errors from Brazil have allowed Uruguay down the center of the field.
Look, every single point, that's what, 8 points that they have opened up and given Uruguay off of penalties, or basically a result of penalties, and just high tackles, offsides, obstructions, so preventable. And these are just mental errors that Brazil will certainly have to cure as the game goes forward.
Berkese would love to cut it down to 2 points here. Crowd goes quiet. Berkese gets boot to ball. Crowd likes it. Assistant referees don't. No good. We are at a 4-point game here. 15-11 as we take another look at it.
And you see just bodies on the ground. Just complete disarray in the Brazilian defense. They can't contest those mauls. They're so well built, nice and low, driving forward. Very difficult to defend.
The height of the bodies on those Brazilian players, they were just up too high. Uruguay was certainly going to get under them there. And Reeves, eyes up where he wants this one to go. Another fairly long one there. Well taken by Uruguay. Villaseca again getting lifted. Gavinada, the captain.
And you're out,
Double tackle on him.
Wait. Just wait.
Arata most likely going to the boot again here.
Use it.
Lost one man in that wall, but still able to get it away. Inside the Brazil half. They're going to move it across the field from Sansari. Sansari goes to Masadi, to Tenorio. Tenorio can't make too much room. It's happened a couple of times today. Brazil comes down with it, and Lucas Duque looking for his next runner, but he goes to Reeves.
Stop.
And Reeves puts it at the 22. Uruguay playing the aerial ping pong here. Reeves again controlling that midfield very well. Spotted some space back there, but ball goes directly in a touch. A little mistake from Brazil, and Uruguay is going to have another great opportunity for a line out here.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the mental error that you don't want to make. You want to keep that ball in touch. He is well beyond the 22. Just got to be a little bit more clinical in that kick. Great idea, just poor execution.
Herman Kessler, the last try scorer.
Thank you.
24-year-old hooker for this team. As they push this one towards the front of the lineout. Quickly they get away. Berkese has runners coming in a couple different directions. Gaminada hit hard by Arruda. Arata is going to come back to this side, and Berkese, that was Mieres, able to slide through, moves the ball to Fritas. Fritas, the Carrasco Polo player, takes it inside the 22 and turned over there by Brazil. It's play on as Paganini is fighting his way to stay inside. Lucas Duque gets it to Reeves. Reeves is going to clear the trouble for the moment as Berkese has to go back on it.
I I'm not sure how.
Salvato there slips through a couple.
I thought there was a high tackle on the Brazilian player earlier.
Chaudhry let it go, and another offside from Brazil as Arruda runs away with it. But it's going to be another opportunity for Uruguay to push it downfield, and Brazil, after a blazing start, has let these errors creep in.
Yeah, I mean, I know you won't see everything, but it seems as though there should have been there was a tackle on the head. I think that's probably what's being communicated now.
Yeah. Well, Gaminado trying to be the third assistant referee, trying to help out with the decision there. And we're going to stick with this offsides. This will put them in a good position, getting the ball down to this side of the field.
But you see Brazil pleading the case, too, that on the head. Can't let those kind of things get away.
I don't have communication.
About 15 meters out.
I can't hear anything.
Referee is playing on ear. Look, can't hear. He's talking to Bergo, the captain, spot player for this team.
Just stay back there, guys. Arthur, just 2 meters. 2 meters.
Juan Pedro Rhombus, wearing number 3 at the front there, brings his team in. Has given Kessler the instructions. That one goes to the middle. They spin it around quickly, and they're going to run this one. They try to bring players in from that off wing. I think that was Arata. They have no scrum half there. The ball comes up to Gaminada. Gaminada gets through one tackle. Gaminada keeps it alive. Rhombus clearing off the top. The ball goes to Doty. Doty pops one up there. Rhombus runs into his own player, and very lucky for Brazil.
Very lucky. They didn't have. I didn't have the confidence that the defense was ready for what Uruguay was about to unleash. I saw a lot of gaps in the defensive line, and so they got really lucky there.
And that may be the end of our half. And it is. A little bit of trouble on the game clock there as we're hitting halftime there. Referee Chaudhry calls for it. Brazil still in the lead. Quite a first half, Brazil. We're going to come back with some highlights and then some second half stats. Brazil leads. We'll be back after this. We are back at Estadio Chorua, the last game of the Americas Rugby Championship, where Brazil, somewhat surprisingly, leads 15-11 over Uruguay. We're going to take a look at some match highlights. Phaedra, quite a first half for this Brazilian team.
Awesome. And the scrum, I tell you, in the beginning, just as they do, punishing their opposition scrum. Brumbies was not straight in that scrum, and then Reeves kicked it off with a penalty. Got the range, got the distance, got the angle.
Yeah. And you see a big high ball put up there for Reeves, and penalty, a couple times those Brazilian players just been standing in front there.
Yeah.
Referee Chaudhry not thrilled with that, and Berkesi in from France slots that one no problem.
And then we had this spectacular try by your man
Lucas Duque.
Duque, that's right. Put it in.
Yeah,
just the big run there by Tronquez set it up. Just very awesome heads-up play by Duque.
And Vieira had to leave the field on that one. Here's the next one as the ball comes across and knocked down there, but had a penalty, and they came back for the quick tap here from Sansari. Caught everyone sleeping.
And I bet you Uruguay is getting reamed out at halftime for that one. They're just kind of casually taking their time. On a penalty, you've got to be ready regardless, especially when you're in this area of the field.
Yeah, look at it again there. The Uruguay players just had their back turned. They weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Just can't turn your back on that. There's another high one goes up here.
And another obstruction by Brazil. And this is just basically money in the bank for Uruguay. The foot of Berkesi is just phenomenal. And then we saw the last score in the half, this maul, which is completely indefensible by Brazil.
Huh. Yeah, Brazil.
Look at the body positioning, John. Just doesn't get any better than that. Uruguay doing a great job. And number 2, Kessler, dotting it down.
Herman Kessler's had an excellent tournament so far and gets his rewards right there with the try. So those are our highlights for the first half. 15-11. This would be an upset for the ages if Brazil can come out on fire for the second half. We're going to go back with some stats and then that second half in just a couple of minutes. Halftime in Montevideo, Os Tupis 15, Los Teros of Uruguay 11, Brazil in the lead. We're going to take a look at some statistics from the first half.
Well, the score is something we didn't anticipate coming into this match. Brazil up 15-11. Scrums not so much of an issue.
No scrums for Uruguay.
Yeah, none for Uruguay. Brazil obviously successful at their two. Both teams perfect in the line-out. And, you know, penalties, well, Brazil needs to cut it out, right? We talked about it. They have conceded 7 penalties, which have cost them really 8 points in this match so far.
But look at that, no offensive scrums for Uruguay. If they start getting scrums in the second half, that's where Uruguay draws the penalties. That's where Uruguay saps the energy from the team. If they can get into a little bit more of a front-up battle, Brazil, it'll work really well for them.
Yes, I agree.
And we will talk with World Rugby Hall of Famer Phaedra Knight about what these coaches are telling these teams at halftime.
Uh-oh.
We think one coach is happy, one coach not so much. But we are going to talk about that when we return. Right now it is 15-11, Brazil over Uruguay in Montevideo in this last game of the Americas Rugby Championship. Stay tuned for an amazing second half. It's been all action, and it will continue to be in this final game of the Americas Rugby Championship. Brazil 15, Uruguay 11. This is John Broker with World Rugby Hall of Famer Phaedra Knight, bringing you these last 40 minutes of tense action. We're just waiting for our referee team to get back on the field. They may be fixing some of their clock and communication problems that they had. But we said just before the break that, you know, there's one pretty happy coach, there's one pretty frustrated coach. So let's talk about Uruguay Los Teros, Esteban Menses, their Argentinian coach. What message is he giving to this team?
Well, I know he's telling these guys, we have got to turn it up 10 notches to play the way we played last week. And that's what we're going to need to do to overcome this Brazilian pack. The other thing is you've got to be awake when you're penalized on your try line. I mean, every moment in this match matters, and so you've got to just win every point of contact.
Is an upset on the cards? We're going to find out in the next 40 minutes as Brazil brings down that ball. Tenorio, you see, is off the field for Brazil, bringing on Rodriguez on the wing position, and Reeves goes immediately to that boot. We'll talk about that in a bit. They would definitely want to have a nice battle up front, but the ball comes back to Berkesi. Berkesi breaks a tackle and gets across that 50-meter line. Arata quickly to Cox, standing in the first receiver position, but turned over, and Kleber Diaz has the ball, puts one to Sansari, but that one doesn't go to hand, and we're going to come back to a scrum for Brazil.
Well, You know, actually, that's the on-fire that they need to have, Uruguay, to come into this half and have a chance of winning it. Unfortunate knock on there. They haven't made a lot of errors in this match, but great opportunity here for Brazil to inflict their punishment in the scrum.
If they can inflict a scrum penalty here, this is kickable for Reeves as well, just inside the 50-meter line.
Great point. Great point.
And this has been part of their strategy in the first 4 weeks, is just get down there, create those penalties, and give Reeves the opportunity. So we'll see how they do. We'll see Lucas Duque, the happy try scorer, gets that one in.
Use it, use it, use it.
As the ball goes to the feet of Alves, playing number 8 there, and they move it out wide. Another try scorer there, and Sansari chips one inside of the 22, but it goes directly out, and it's going to be a line out here to Uruguay inside their own 40.
Yeah, I mean, that's really unfortunate. They were on the go, on the front foot. I think he made a great decision to kick it. I would have probably kicked it and aimed it a little bit more infield just to ensure, because that's happened to him in the first half. Another kick earlier that went straight into touch.
Ball goes back there to Doty. Doty, the NOLA Gold player in Major League Rugby.
They brought the ball down.
Referee says everybody's on side, so we're going to play on. Well, a tip pass doesn't go to hand there. Berkesi takes it around the left-hand side, looking for a gap. Puts a nice little pass away there to Freitas. Freitas offloads the ball to one of his teammates there, and Uruguay now on the run. They're going to want to start the second half well. Brazil, another offsides. That's been a problem for them. But breaking through that line is Juan Manuel Cot. He gets the 22. Still under an advantage here is Uruguay. Arata moves it back, and Uruguay coming across field. They want the points. They want to get this started. But we're going to come back for that penalty after a big hit from Masari stops that.
That was actually an outstanding pursuit, but unfortunately for Brazil, Uruguay was still playing, like you said, the advantage for the previous offsides. Uruguay has defeated Brazil in their previous 21 consecutive face-offs, dating back to August 1964, John. Uruguay obviously has the home field advantage, and with this very partisan fan pack, it was expected that Uruguay would be commanding this match, but not the case.
Not the case so far. They had a good run right there.
Wind doesn't seem to be an issue either.
Berkesi just throwing some grass in the air.
The grass like confetti.
I think it's turf, actually, so I'm throwing around there.
Turf like confetti.
And we're going to have an opportunity, we missed one, for Berkesi, the 27-year-old, in his second ARC match, to draw the scores a little closer. Be a 1-point game if he can hit this. Casey just draws that foot across to get himself ready to kick it. Eyes up the posts. He's got the distance on this one. Assistant referees agree that it's good. The crowd reacts as well. We are at a 1-point game here.
They are climbing their way back into this.
I'll have a look, but it's going down.
Like you said in the first half, they're going to chip away. However, they got to do this.
And Brazil's got to get down into this Uruguayan territory and start creating situations to draw penalties also, because that's where they're very strong.
Arthur Bergo has a word with referee Chaudhry there. The Brazilian captain concerned about something. And Reeves. Just under 5 minutes gone in the second half. Launches one down inside the 22. Great kick from him.
That's okay. Play. He's okay.
Returned by Uruguay.
See Duque on the chase. He came down and the tackle was okay because it was within a millisecond of the kick being launched.
Shut up.
Freitas
there, the Carrasco Polo player.
Yeah, he's a little shaken up.
5-year-old, yeah, getting his 31st cap here.
Blue.
Watch Duque though here.
Blue.
Yeah, that was okay. He was pretty close.
Yeah. But I like the pursuit.
Trunquez, yep. And Jan Rossetti at the 40-meter line of Uruguay. Referee telling
Take a step, please.
Uruguay, they need to take a step back here.
Let's have it.
Good starting point here for this Brazilian forward pack. They put it up to the middle there. Paganini comes down with it, no problem. Reeves switches it back in, and away is Lorenzo Massari. He's got one to beat, but he slips, gets back up, and keeps his feet 5-meter line for Brazil. Big Wilton Rebolo trying to get his way towards the line. He's able to recycle. Duque's looking around for runners, goes off to his right. Reeves shows and tries to go back. Can Reeves get a try? He's at the line and does not. There is big Wilton Rebolo again. He wants that line. There they go through the captain, Banago. See what they decide to do with this. They go up to Alves, the replacement, and he cannot stretch across the line.
It's available.
Caminada working his way out, and there they go again. Rebolo one more time. Veterato standing there. Doty is over that ball, but rolls away. And a little slip there from Brazil.
That's just unfortunate. A lot of hard work, a huge misdirection of a run from Massari. I mean, and then just good work around the fringes.
So here we have Uruguay's first offensive scrum of the game.
That's a great point.
At their own 5-meter line
With pressure.
against one of the world's top scrummaging teams.
I like where you're going here.
This is going to be interesting.
Is there any injury?
This is one of the great moments you're going to see in this sport. Is a moment like this. Brazil knows what's on the cards. Uruguay been talking about this scrum all week.
Well, what I believe has been happening, and the ref let it play in the last scrum, but Rumby's again going down to prevent being driven back.
Referee going to look for some foul play here. We'll see what this is all about.
Either way, for Brazil, if it's a scrum, they're happy.
Yeah, unless there's a penalty against them for some foul play here.
There you go.
Which would be a big moment in this game. With referee Chaudhry.
We don't have anything. I've got knock on by gold. We're going to restart with scrum to blue on the 5-meter line.
Asking the TMO if there are any issues here. And no shots of it yet for us. So we'll just have to wait and see as we take a look here. There's Reeves stepping in. Nothing there.
One.
Arm up there from Rebolo, but didn't seem to be anything in that.
You just have a look for any head contact. That's what the call is. Nothing. If there's
Head
nothing
contact
here,
is what they're looking for.
Yeah,
scrum blue. But give me 1 second.
I haven't seen anything yet.
It's really difficult to see from this angle.
Yeah, I mean, there's just bodies everywhere.
Just on you, Pesce.
Sure which head contact we're looking for here, so a hard time looking at both teams. Nothing there on Reeves.
Maybe there. Seatbelt tackle certainly would warrant a penalty in sevens. It's a little different in the game of 15s.
Nope, nothing in it. We're going to go to the offensive scrum here for Uruguay. 47 minutes into this final match. Brazil, I think, have one thing in mind.
This is so crucial.
Keep your space. Keep your space.
Veterato.
He's salivating.
Fine.
He's on the loose head side, not something he's used to here. I'm sure it's not going to be that much of a problem for him. And they're together, Arata.
He needs to come over here to the left side of the scrum.
Yeah.
Rumby's hips are out and his shoulders are in. He's definitely boring in.
They're trying to do whatever they have to do.
Yeah.
These players. Get a great look at Veterato. It's been so much fun to watch throughout this tournament. Getting his 25th cap today. Just 2 tries in his history with this Brazil two-piece team.
Bind. 6.
One of those coming in ARC action.
Much straighter that time.
And you can see the pressure on Rhombus there.
Yeah.
Tight head here.
You knew it. You
And
saw
that
it
ball
coming.
is at the feet of Aruda. They have to go back around the other way. Reeves goes wide to Trunques. Try Lucas Trunques, and Brazil extends their lead with a well-worked try.
John, you called it like money. We knew that was going to happen, and I knew when the ref came over to straighten out Rhombus, it was going to change the dynamic power of that scrum, and we saw it. The ball just hovered underneath both, and then boom, they just put it on them.
Tronquez there. I know it said Tenorio down low, but it is number 14, Lucas Tronquez, that scores that try. Great play by Duque to come back around, and great little vision there from Reeves. Look at Tronquez. He has been dying to have a run.
He has, and he definitely scored that try, but that was actually a forward pack try because they turned that ball over and created that opportunity. Sucked in the flanker on the left side. They didn't have a chance.
You just get the sense that some of these outside backs for Brazil are looking at Veterato. They're looking at these front row players and saying, they're all talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
We got to show something ourselves here, and today's the day.
Yeah.
20-14 right here. 6 points. This would put it beyond a converted try. Plenty of time to go. 30 minutes to go in this game. Uruguay, a great team. But a current score I don't think many people would have predicted.
For a right-footed kicker, this would be a very difficult kick. But because Reeves is kicking off of that left foot, not so much.
And he pushes it across the front. Hard luck there for him. But the lead of 6 points for Brazil. 10 minutes gone in this second half. This is exciting moments here. Nerves for Uruguay.
I mean, Brazil has done nothing but upset. I know Uruguay obviously upset the U.S., who hasn't really been playing the way they are accustomed to playing in 2018, at least, in this entire ARC. But Brazil has been upsetting all over the place. Even last week, with the or a couple of weeks ago when they played the U.S. I mean, 5 points. It's a 5-point differential.
And Rhombus is off for Sagadio. Sagadio, the next man, is going to get to take on Veterato. As the ball goes up and well taken by Brazil, but hard hit. Vilaseca teaming up to get that done. Duque back to Reeves, and he is going to push it back down to Uruguay's side of the field. And you can expect to see a lot of play down there as Berkesi puts it to Mieres. Mieres moves it across to the big number 8, and that is Manuel Diana. I haven't seen too much of Diana today.
Well, you just saw a lot of him there.
As at the 40-meter line of Brazil, they move it across, and they're starting to get a run on here as they move the ball out to Favado. Favado, we know he can make it happen, and hit finally by Reeves, and they're at the 5-meter line of Brazil. Little spilled ball. Brazil dives on it there, but may have been offsides. And was another Brazil offsides, gives the penalty here to Uruguay. And we'll see what they decide to do.
And the tables have turned. That was tremendous effort on attack by Uruguay to move the ball down. And Favaro just a couple of meters from scoring.
And Uruguay with Berkesi, they're going to go for the line out here.
Yeah,
they want the points.
And you know what? They've got the line out and the maul that can destroy, as we've seen earlier, this Brazilian defense. All they've got to do is get into position and drive.
And Mario Sagadio, another Carrasco Polo player, getting his 75th cap. Played for Munster in Ireland a little bit. And Uruguay gets it up and comes down. The ball's in Kessler's hands. He's already got one today from this powerful maul. They're trying to get it set. This thing starts to shear around to one side, and good work by Brazil. That ball stays with just a small group of players that splinter off. Brazil going to have to continue to defend. We know Uruguay can do the pick-and-go game for phase after phase after phase. But they decide to go a little wider with this one. The big number 8 rolls towards the line there, does Diana. And they've got an advantage for Cleaver Diaz being in front of that ball. So they have at least 3 points coming to them most likely, but they want those 7. Referee Chaudhry telling the ball is short, and try scored there by Uruguay under the post with a conversion. They'll be a point ahead. We have a lead change here. Exciting stuff in Montevideo.
Yeah, they've gotten their wake-up call, and that was we knew that maul would be effective. Great defense by Brazil, but then really true heads-up play. You see working on the ground there to get every inch he can possibly get, placing that ball back, and then just inches to put the ball down. I mean, literally move the ball 2 inches
we'll
and
see
score
what it was.
the
It
try.
might have been Arthur Bergo. or sorry, Franco Lamana, the number 7. Casey slots it. Uruguay takes the lead, much to the relief of all the fans in the stands here at Estadio Charrua. But Brazil not done yet.
No, they're not. They're not done at all. Yeah, you had it right. That was Lamana with just playing the game of inches.
Plays in the UK for Darlington Mountain Park, getting his 7th ARC, 3rd try in the ARC. Overall, this is his 6th game in this tournament as Arata makes way for Inciarte. Looks like he's favoring his shoulder a little bit there.
Well, Inciarte obviously can step in and fill the shoes of Arata. Doesn't necessarily have quite the pace, but very effective. Very effective.
Good ball there from Reeves, eventually taken down by Uruguay. Brazil almost came up with it. Kleber Diaz making a nuisance of himself and gets penalized. As good as he is, he's prone to some silly mistakes like that.
And you just need to listen to the ref. He says no contest, then you concede and wait till the next ruck. I wonder, is Veterata going to play this entire game like he played the last? He played the full 80 minutes last match and made it through. He asked to play.
I wouldn't want to be the coach to tell him to come off the field myself.
No, not at all. But Brazil really needing to answer here. Uruguay with a 1-point lead, but they have a bit of momentum going in their favor.
Kessler in midfield, shortened line out for Doty. Doty comes down with it, no problem. Inciarte, his first touches the ball, goes to his captain Gaminada. Goes back to the left, Inciarte, and goes deep to Mieres. Frutas, I believe. And Kessler.
Timing. Good.
Referee just watching that offsides from Brazil. They've certainly got themselves under his eyes with that. As they slip that one back in to Fritas. Nicolas Fritas
that was forward.
Was attempting the offload there. We'll see what they're going to come back to.
Yeah, that was definitely forward.
Pass. Unlucky, and Brazil will have this scrum.
Big scrum here for Brazil.
Very big. They're stable enough. They should be able to get this one no problem. It's just a question of whether they can draw a penalty or.
Well, there's a decent size short side on the right side of the field, and Arruda has done well in the past to pick and go. It may be an opportunity for him to showcase his skills further.
And they can give him a little go forward. This front row certainly.
Approach.
Second row, of course.
Bind.
Paganini.
Set.
I believe it. Arruda's in there now.
No,
I think we have Alves in the number 8
you're
spot.
right. Alves.
He came in earlier, but there goes Alves.
There
He's
he
off to a
goes.
good run. And he has tried to step a couple, but nearly turns it over.
Rock on blue.
Knocked on by Uruguay. So the worst, it'll be another scrum here for Brazil.
Wait.
We'll see what they decide to do. Duque gets it to one of the big fellas. Gaminada takes that away. We'll just come back to that scrum for Brazil. They're probably better off.
Yeah, just resetting and trying again. But they've got to be careful about making those passes. That was the second one in that series of play, just making 50-50 passes with a defender in the passing line. Take another look here. You see a little too much. Great run off the base. Just take it to ground and let your support handle it from there.
You know, Brazil's playing a little wider, but you got to play a little smarter when you're doing this. When you don't do it all the time. Make sure you protect that ball.
Well, I think they're
Those little pop passes not always necessary.
They're down a point. They want to win. Obviously, they think they've got to score in one phase.
Yeah,
Be
of course.
patient. Patience is everything.
Bind. Set.
Good work by the Uruguayans there, but penalty against Uruguay. Brazil draws it.
That's brilliant.
Driving up,
I'm guessing Josh Reeves is going to boot this one down the way.
Yeah. Brazil Didn't get to drive the one back as they would like, but yeah, Uruguay, those props are just trying everything they can to fend off this challenge. And Reeves will move it downfield for us.
That's splendid.
Great kick by him.
That's the kind of territory you want to gain. And you see, take a look at another look. Oh, wow. Pop, that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're just
for
driving
Kessler.
up because they couldn't get pressure too much on them.
Rossetti, actually.
Yeah.
Guys, just make sure you stay on that line. Don't come in.
Referee wants some quarter given from the Uruguayan line out here. As Brazil steps in, Rossetti, as we hit a little bobble there, but they've come down with it.
Leave it!
Brazil lining their runners up here. The ball comes to Veterato. Veterato gets past the first one, eventually hauled down. Duque looking for some more runners, gets it up to Wilton Rabolo. Now they move it back to Reeves across the field. Tronquez, he's already scored one. Can he slip through? Referee says that ball is okay, I believe. Nope. Knock on there by Brazil. Unlucky, it's going to be a Uruguay scrum.
Well, that was great defense. I didn't catch a number, but the Uruguayan defender put his hand in there just to force that knock on. That's the kind of, you just don't give up.
I need to go straight, not up.
Nice run by Tronquez, or
over the mark.
put his foot there or something.
Straight over the mark. Thank you. There we go.
Again, a scrum for Uruguay. Dangerous position with this Brazil power.
Take your time. Take your time.
And that's listen to those words, take your time. I think actually Brazil in this position needs to take their time as well and just let it happen. They know the power of their scrum. Let the penalty come.
Marcelo, want to come inside?
Referee is slowing this down. We're at over the 60-minute mark. 3/4 of this exciting contest gone. 1 point in it for Uruguay. This last game of the Americas Rugby Championship. Uruguay holds on to win. They're number 2. Brazil puts a huge upset in here. USA goes to number 2.
Yeah, or they remain.
Or remain number 2.
That's right.
I believe.
Yeah, they're currently number 2
points
to
here?
win last night. 16 points
Bind!
to Uruguay's 13.
Set!
Uruguay does well to get that one. And it is Manuel Diana takes it in. Wilton Rabolo tries to roll that over. They're inside their own zones. They're going to want to move this ball away, I would believe.
Stay back.
As the kick comes eventually from Berkesi down the middle of the field. And on the run come Brazil.
Run!
Wait. Looked like it was Gamanada. Did Gamanada steal this one?
Great steal.
Yeah, incredible by Gamanada, but picked up by Duque. And the ball is flipping all over the place.
But he was playing advantage. Gamanara came right in over that ball, isolated runner, and just did his magic. And that body positioning was just outstanding.
I thought
nice
he'd come off his
low.
feet there myself, but he must have kept his feet. Such a good player, Gamanada.
Strong player.
Yeah. Got Vice on that ball. And Uruguay at the 22 of Brazil.
Now, if I were Brazil here, they have not. We'll back up. I'll save that statement. But we see here, look at Gamanara. He's nice and
He
low.
does keep his feet.
Yeah,
What a play.
he's just great heads-up play. I would, on this penalty, if I were Brazil, I would actually go up in the air and contest. They have yet to contest a defensive scrum. Put some pressure on Uruguay. Make them throw over them.
Reeves in the background there, cheering on his forwards, and they don't contest again. And a wrap around the back to Kessler. Kessler bounces off a one, and he's inside the 22. It was Veterato that brought him down as the ball comes up to Ormachea. Juan Diego Ormachea in the game. Great flanker as the ball gets popped back in there, and that is Franco Lamana. Now Inciarte moves it out to Juan Manuel Cat. Juan Manuel Cat looking for the space, can't get all the way through. A bouncing ball for Doty. Doty gets to the 5-meter line. Now we've got Brazilian players clamped over that ball.
No, not
The
from the
ball
side.
is
No,
clear.
No, leave it. No, 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 no!
The referee is
Got advantage.
telling the
Trade.
players what not to do,
Play on.
and
It's 6 in
Brazil
front.
insists on it. Now there's an advantage, and it could be another try here for Uruguay. If Cott can go over, and one Manuel Cott in the corner. We're probably going to have to. Oh, the referee is giving the try.
You know, if he's telling you no, 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 it applies to everyone around that area. And that was just exceptional take by Manuel Cat. You know, he was playing fly half for most of his tournament, moved out to his natural position at outside center, and really this is the first opportunity they've had an opportunity or had a chance to run the ball, and he does well.
And Brazil just making things difficult for themselves there with a number of penalties. Like you said, the referee screaming, don't do that, stop it, and they keep going, and here's what you get.
Yeah,
Manuel Cat sliding in for a pretty easy try.
Veterada going in on that ruck, and, you know, the referee had already established no, no, no.
Berkese now to extend the lead, currently at 6 points. Uruguay 26, Brazil 20. This would take it to 8, being more than a converted try the other way. Uruguay clawing their way back into this and now climbing their way on top. Berkese. Crowd seemed pretty happy with it, so the assistant refs. We are at 28. Brazil has some work to do. 15 minutes left in this contest. Brazil needs something here.
They do. They need discipline, and they need to listen. And with a little bit of both of those things and fire up defense, they have a chance. They're not out of this game. It's an 8-point match. They can easily create a turnover, create a penalty in Uruguay's area of the field, and maximize the power of their scrum and the foot of Reeves.
And they need a penalty-free last 15 minutes. As Reeves sure to put this one long again. Does not, however.
Ball good in the air.
The referee was saying go ahead and play it, but knocked on by Uruguay. It's going to be a Brazil scrum.
No.
And that's it. You know, just play the game, play within the rules, stick to your strengths. And they've, you know, again, they've diversified their game plan. They have evolved from just a kicking, big scrumming team to a team that can actually offer a decent attack.
Facundo Gatas comes on the field, number 16, putting on for Sanguinetti. Gatas plays for the Hindu club in Argentina. So again, they just put reserves on the bench that they think can scrummage against this team. Facundo Gatas is going to have to go against Wilton Rabolo.
Crouch. Bind. No.
Referee Chaudhry brings this one up again.
New prop, that's fine. All day we've had good scrums. Keep your space. First one, that we pre-engage again. We've been good. Keep your space, please. Keep your space.
Referee Chaudhry wants to see things stay as they are. Wants good scrummaging from both of these teams, or legal scrummaging anyway. Lucas Duque.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Scrum is in there.
Use it, use it, use it.
Referee telling him to use it there. Duque has to put it to Reeves, and now they're in the back to Moises Duque. He put the little pop pass up. Wasn't really going to anybody, but they're away. Lucas Tronquez moves it back in. I thought Tronquez was going to try to head towards the corner, but Uruguay now on the run. Their big number 8, Arruda, gets stood up. And Alves, the replacement, keeps it going.
He's not moving.
Berkese in on there. We have an advantage here against Uruguay. Brazil would love these points. As the ball comes squirting out there to the captain. They're popping around the back there, and there's a big Rabolo. We still have an advantage here.
No.
The Uruguayans are piling in. And there's Alves again. And at number 8 now, Kleber Diaz tries to find a little seam. Does not. He closes down on him. Oh, a head-high tackle there on Ariel Rodriguez. Referee blows the whistle quickly. Player is down at the moment. Very dangerous There'll definitely be a penalty in front, possibly a card.
Yeah, I think
We'll
that
see
may
what happens
end
here.
up being a card. Knocked him out.
Moving his leg, which is a very good
Guys,
sign there.
huddle up.
All worries
Bring it
for
in, bring it in.
Rodriguez.
Blue, bring it in. Bring it in. Water on, please. Time off.
Yeah.
Brazil had an advantage there, and they were still running, and a head-high tackle. Referees probably want to take a look at this.
Very dangerous tackle.
Flash A.
Medical team
Stand by.
comes on.
Check, please.
Seems to be
Flash A.
okay and be responsive.
Have a look at this, please.
The Yacarai Club's Ariel Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Made his debut versus Uruguay, so playing a familiar team.
Yeah, I think when
We'll
you're
take a look at it.
when you involve the head, though, and that was definitively a head grab, regardless of intent, it's a strict liability thing. So it ends up, it's likely going to be a yellow card,
Okay, can you show me the angles, please?
if not more severe.
You see Reeves come across, just hang one up there for Rodriguez, and Rodriguez,
Okay, so
yeah,
there
and
is a
that
defender in place.
Villaseca comes right around the top there.
Number 10 Blues, there's a defender, so it's not a penalty try. Show me the other angle, please.
Referee saying not a penalty try.
Can you rewind that angle, please?
Referee Chaudhry calling for another angle back there.
Snaps his head forward.
Yeah.
I've got
Whiplash.
12 Blue. He's got made contact with force on the head and neck area.
Yeah, that's.
Is this
I'm
yellow or
calling
red?
it. I think it's going to be a red card.
Got direct force with contact is right to the head and neck area. So he's not slipped up.
And
He's
he
come with
definitely
direct force
acknowledged
right to the
it.
head and
I
neck
don't think
area.
there was any
Can you
intent
just
with it,
rewind
but
it one more
again,
time?
that's the rules.
rules.
The
So
rules
blue
are the
12
rules.
with force to the head and neck area. You agree? So red card for us?
Red card. That's what he's saying right
Thank you.
now. First and foremost, let's hope Ariel Rodriguez is going to be okay. Took a very hefty hit there from Villaseca.
Just 1 second. No, just 1 second. 12 Blue, please. 12.
Gaminata calls him out.
So, number 10 Blue, there's cover tackle, so it's not a penalty try situation. He's made direct force, he's made direct contact with head, with force. But it's a direct contact with head, with force onto the head and neck area. It's a red card for us. Sorry.
Villaseca's off the field. Gaminata not thrilled. Villaseca
number
saying
10 is cover
it should be a change.
10 is
No
their
penalty
cover
try, but a
Guys,
crucial
go on,
link in this Uruguayan team is off the field for the next, for the last 13 minutes of the game. We have a penalty right in front. Do you go for the scrum here and try to build those points?
You absolutely do. And you play on, I'm assuming that based on past performance, Brazil could probably walk this in. But you'll suck in the middle of the field. You have obviously 14 players for Uruguay. There is space somewhere.
What else could you want from a rugby game? Potential for an upset. Lots of interesting moments. Suspense.
Yeah, this has been a
Lead changes.
more than I could have ever imagined.
We are going to see a great last 12 minutes of rugby here as a one-man advantage for this underdog Brazil team.
I've got his shoulder up now. Stay down.
That scrum that is
Crouch!
worldwide well known at this point.
Bind!
Lucas Duque
Set!
set to put the ball in. And there it goes. The power coming forward.
Use it!
Referee, however, telling the players to use the ball. Remember, they're one man down in the backs there, so we'll see what they do as it Moises Duque comes in and takes it. And off the back comes Aruda. A little harder road here as the ball comes to Veterato. Veterato always seems to slip through one to Jardel Veterato. Alves gets man and ball at the same time, and that may have been a knock-on. Uruguay forces a knock-on, but they now have to scrum against Brazil.
And they also know how to play with 14 men on the field for much longer than just 11 minutes that remains. They played that first match against Canada short for most of the match with the Rada going out, and they came up big.
This scrum is going to be a very important moment for them. Remember, Brazil's already taken one of their scrums.
So what I'm looking at, Brazil seems like when their ball carriers receive the ball, they're not expecting it, and you've got to always be expecting the ball. In that case, Alves just wasn't ready to catch it.
Set.
See how we do here. There goes Brazil, but ball quickly out the back there. Well done by Uruguay. And Berkese puts it well downfield. That may wind up being a Uruguayan lineout.
That was
Looks like Ariel Rodriguez stepped out there. We will see.
You've got to know where you are on the field. Those are the kind of errors that will destroy you. And in this crucial segment of the match, it's just, I'd say inexcusable.
Yeah, that's just, feet on the line there. Should have just let that go.
Let it go. If it's marginally anywhere near that outline, the touch line, just let it go.
Now, Uruguay with a line out, just the 40-meter line of Brazil. 10 minutes to go in this matchup. They come down with the ball, no problem. Inciarte moves it out across. Gaminara combatively comes up with the ball. Inciarte moves it again into the hands of Ormachea.
Leave it. Just leave it back.
In the game now. Inciarte moves it one more time to Juan Manuel Cat. Tries a little step there.
He's left it.
Referee's saying he's okay. Uruguay still on the run here. Favado.
Tackle, leave it.
Referee's saying it's a tackle. Those Brazilian players have to let go of the ball. And they continue to drive their way forward. Uruguay hits Ormachea again. Ormachea gets to the 22. Now starting to find their footing as this team. As a big ball comes up there. We've been offsides there as Sagadio takes that one in. What can they make happen? Berkese moves it out to Kessler. That one was knocked on. We're going to come back for an offsides, and they're sure to go for the points on this.
For sure, and if they're smart, that's what they do to really put some distance in this league.
Second one. 6.
Kleber Diaz going to get a talking to here. Referee going to his pocket. And Diaz is going to be off for the remainder of this game. Now we're at 14-14.
14-14, and I don't think it matters for Uruguay, obviously, whether they're playing with 14 or 15. They've obviously switched on. They're playing very smart, heads-up rugby, very, very aggressive, and clearly the class in between the two, the team that has the most class is really coming to the forefront.
Uruguay really turning on these last few minutes. Brazil guilty of their own undoing, really.
That was a surprise. I guess they really want to solidify this lead. They know their maul, their line out of maul is a strength.
Stop, guys, here.
Yeah, you see Kleber Diaz just offsides. And again, that's just awareness. Where are you?
The middle lineup, they have that maul going. They want to close this out. They've split the Brazilian forwards. The ball's in the back there. Ormachea is trying to get his hands on it. They're driving towards the line. Held up and finally over. We're going to see what the referee is going to call here.
I'm putting my money on a try.
Look at this. It looks like a try.
Just hold, guys. Back up here, guys. Back up here.
Referee Chaudhry.
Back up here, guys. Just check, Pache. We're going to have a check for the try, please.
This could be the moment of the game here for Uruguay.
Yes, please.
A moment of relief for everybody in the stands, the Uruguayan fans.
Yep.
I have a doubt. Quick, have a check, please.
Maul's coming in. Rolling forward here. We'll see who comes up with it.
Their maul is as bad as dangerous. Uruguay's maul is as dangerous as Brazil's scrum, really. The only other team in the ARC that has impressed me with their maul has been the U.S.
Is there any reason I can't award this try?
Who got that over?
Yeah, I think he certainly got it.
Trying to see who that is that got that try.
Yeah, it's right on the line.
Thank you. Looks good from here.
Yeah.
Referee Chaudhry, we assume, is going to award this.
It's one movement. Try is good.
Try is good for Uruguay. They move ahead of Brazil. The scare may be over. There's some time left, 8 minutes. Not sure if Brazil can overcome this deficit.
Yeah, I mean, they're making it extremely difficult for themselves. Pujadas in for the try score.
Kessler.
Kessler.
Can you give me time check, please?
Was that Kessler that scored?
I don't believe that was Kessler that scored. I didn't get the number there. Could have been.
I think it was, actually. He was looming on the sideline.
Berkasey to move this to a 15-point game. And he hits it. It's at 15 points, 35-20. And just like that, Uruguay takes a commanding lead here with just about 6 or 7 minutes to go in this game. As you see some more changes coming in, the Intersoft Blengio on. But this is more than 2 converted tries for Brazil.
I personally
in 7
think,
minutes.
I think it's out of their reach, but they have certainly impressed this tournament.
Absolutely.
I mean, no doubt.
Play on.
As they've come down with that one, they're going to keep going here, certainly. As the big number 4, Paganini, comes down with that.
No 16.
Duque to Reeves. Reeves slips it back in to Tronquez. They've developed a great rapport in this tournament. As the ball comes up to Alves. Duque leaps over, gets a hold of it. Reeves pushes one wide. It floats forward.
That's just a
We're
rush.
Come back here, yeah.
Rush pass. They're just frantic at this point. They feel the need to really get down there and score, and they need to really, more or less take their time.
Yep.
And I know that they know each other well, and there's a lot of no-look passes, but I think you've got to take a glance at the person you're passing it to.
Scrum here for Uruguay. Brazil sure to put everything into this. Yeah, you just saw Reeves there just heave that out.
Here we go, boys. Find him, please.
That's also extremely easy to defend.
Yep.
You're not taking a step to draw the defense.
Crouch. Bind.
5 minutes on the game clock. We've had a little clock issues here. The referee will be the ultimate arbiter of the time, and off the back they come through Ormachea, Juan Diego Ormachea. Certainly enjoying his time in this game. Gaminata puts one off there, and away they go. They've got a little room outside. Berkasey gets it up to Blengio, just stepped into the game, ball in hand. They're going to keep coming down the side. Inciarte puts it up, but Pujadas can't handle it. We're going to have a scrum here for Brazil. And Brazil deep inside their own zone.
They are, and that scrum is looking a bit tired for Brazil. Uruguay, the last couple of scrums have been very successful to kind of hold their own and clear their own ball.
Last one was fine. We're going to keep
If you look there, Rabolo and Veterato switch sides. Rabolo playing on the loose head side.
Veterato's back
intentional?
home.
Yeah. Don't know if it was intentional, depending on who was coming into the game. And a lot of these teams they played have just loaded their reserves bench with props to come in and
bind,
deal with this threat.
Set.
Pressure this time by Uruguay.
There you go.
And look at that, with under 4 minutes to go, Uruguay has done something that very few teams have done during this championship.
And making that switch from loose to tight in this at this part of the game, it's crucial. It obviously is a working to the disadvantage of Brazil.
This is a bit of a surprise. Again, Kleber Diaz not in there right now, so they're missing a little beef, but and they're going to go for it again. They really want to run away with this score. At the end of this game, 3 minutes left in this Americas Rugby Championship.
Marcelo, just go inside, okay?
And I think we can probably
stop
rely
when
on
you
a
come
maul
inside.
here
Stop
again.
when you come inside.
Full line out, and that's
Ball's
what
up to
they do.
Doty. Gaminata has the ball in hand. I think the captain would certainly like to get across, but he does not. Fascunda Gatas has it, but it breaks off the back to
And away now,
Ormachea.
move.
Ormachea gets to the 5-meter line before Reeves can finally take him
available.
down.
He's going to take it. Just wait.
Little pop-up there. Gaminata can't handle it, but the ball goes back.
No, that's fine.
Uruguay maintain possession of it.
Bodies flying everywhere.
Uruguay wants the final say here, and they may get it. They are lined up a little bit. A gap in that Brazilian defense is all they need.
If
that one's held up, we're going to have a scrum here for Uruguay.
Veterata did very well to get under that ball and just pulled the Uruguayan ball carrier on him to hold it up.
Saying Veterato, maybe getting some interested phone calls from some clubs and teams around the world. 33 years old, Veterato.
Taking a little break. That's just it's a prop minute.
I'll give it to him. I think he deserves it.
Oh, he absolutely does. Give him 2 minutes.
15 points here, and it's a minute and a half on the game clock. It does not look like Brazil has the upset on the cards that it looked like in the first 20 minutes, but they have been spectacular in what they have done.
I think it would do Brazil. I mean, I know he is the heart and soul of the scrum, but he's exhausted.
Yeah. Should let him sleep for a couple of days after this.
Let the bear sleep.
Get a shot of Gaminata.
Bashe, do you have the bin time?
Extended wait for Veterato here.
Yeah, it looks like he's
and it
going
looks like
out.
he's coming off. We'll see who comes on the field.
Arthur, should we make a substitution?
For the big fella.
Are we good?
A big man. Look at Inciarte there.
One more time, please. One more time.
He certainly made his case to, be the backup scrum half at the World Cup. Played outstanding since Canada.
Okay, make the substitutions, guys. Substitutions.
There's a sub coming in for Uruguay
Get the
as
bin
well.
time, Alejandro. Bin time. 1 minute.
Minute and a half in the game. Minute. Okay. Cleaver Diaz's yellow card.
Number six goal. How much
off
longer
the field.
Okay.
We'll see what Uruguay can do with
Here we go, boys.
5 meters out.
Just gotta keep your space, okay? Here we are.
Penalty pulled on the last one. Replacement here for Brazil.
Yeah. Just hold on. Is number 6 coming back on? Is that yellow card? Yes?
Referee check and see if the yellow card is
Can
done.
you confirm?
He's asked about 4 times.
I know. And here comes Cleaver. Cleaver Diaz wants to go back on the field.
Yeah, clearly the ref does too after all the inquiries.
Thank you. Pins back in, guys.
So now we're back to full tilt. 8 people in the scrum.
Time back on.
8 proper forwards.
Proper forwards. Cleaver Diaz in the second row right now.
That's his punishment for going to the bin.
A minute and a half left.
Bind.
Inciarte ball in hand.
Set.
Brazil will they be able to power through the scrum? Work by Uruguay. Uruguay drives their way forward. Advantage against Brazil again, and Uruguay heads towards the line. And Uruguay is over. It looks like Juan Diego Ormachea is going to have the last say of this game.
He's my favorite. He's one of my favorite on this Uruguayan team. And he came in off the bench, had a spectacular game last week against the U.S. Coming in, he's had some incredible runs. That's actually Lamana.
That's Ormachea.
Oh, it's Ormachea. Okay. Well, Lamana's getting the credit, but Ormachea scored the try.
Lamana's off the field. Now there's Lamana just there with a bit shorter hair than the man you see score the try.
Well, it may have been Lamana. Yeah, that's Ormachea for sure.
Juan Diego Ormachea.
Yeah.
Good hair on that man.
That's great hair.
Got to recognize that. And a great work to get in for that try and have the last say of this game, one would think. And at 40-20, I would say that this scoreline does not reflect the battle that this has been.
No, it doesn't. Ormachea, again, he's been a force to be reckoned with this entire ARC championship. Whether he started or came in off the bench, he's been an impact.
And the game clock is going to be up here, so I'm not sure if this is going to be the last play of the game. Referee may have some referee's time left, but Berkese, as the clock hits 80, slots that one. We go to 42-20, and referee Chaudhry has whistled for the end of our game. And that is it for the Americas Rugby Championship, where Uruguay takes second place over a very game Brazil side, 42-20. Phaedra Knight, what a contest that was.
That was absolutely amazing, John. You know, Brazil controlled this game very much, most of it, and then Uruguay just showing that they had more gas in the tank, and at the end of the day, more discipline to bring it home.
I mean, Brazil sticks with those, the starting players. They use less substitutions than some of these other teams. And I think Uruguay's substitutions, especially with Ormachea scoring that last try, really started to have a big effect as that went on.
Yeah, they had the depth, you know, and that comes with being a Tier 2 team, a team that's, you know, poised, obviously, to go to the World Cup, but a team that features a number of professional players. Comes with that world-class grade, and so it's what you'd expect. But hats off to Brazil for staying in it for so long.
What a great tournament they've had. A lot of these teams really coming up. Chile unlucky to finish in last place and not going to win, but Brazil's been something for everybody, a big team to look at, a big country to look at. Uruguay upsets the USA and takes second place in this Grand Slam for that young Argentinian team. Canada playing better and better as the tournament goes on. This America's Rugby Championship has been a great advertisement for rugby in this hemisphere.
Well, watch out, Six Nations. Here comes the American Rugby Championship.
We are certainly seeing some great games here. As you see, a very happy Juan Gaminada right there. Just wears his heart on his sleeve. As we said, Juan Manuel Gaminada pleased for his team's second place finish there. And Brazil has some things to learn, but definitely have some of the pieces there. Have been outstanding through this.
Yeah, they have a tremendous amount to be proud of again, a lot to build from. They evolved with each match that they played. Certainly more to them than just the boot of Reeves and their scrum. They put together some pretty nice runs on attack. And quite honestly, their defense was pretty outstanding for the first 3/4 of the match.
They worked hard. Those two-piece, fantastic game there. All right, that's the America's Rugby Championship. Argentina wins. Uruguay #2 for Phaedra Knight. This is John Broker. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next year.
An excellent victory against a tough